do, first of all, I want to introduce you. So I want to introduce Dr. Phyllis Hayes-Reams. She is a woman of God. Her journey has included over 25 years of experience in medicine, ministry, and leadership. Her experience includes internal medicine and geriatric medicine. This work has allowed her to align her career with a love of people and her wish to be of service to others. So, thank you, Dr. Phyllis, for joining me in this needed discussion about how do we as busy women fit exercise into our daily lives, along with the healthy foods we should be eating. So, welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Also, just a little house cleaning. Um, I want to invite everyone to, if they have questions or comments, to go ahead and um, to put them in the chat. But if you have questions, let's do it. Put them in the chat after our discussion, so we can do them all at once. Okay. So our first question, Dr. Phyllis, I see, like I said, I see you sharing on Facebook some of your exercise routine. And how important is it for women to include exercise in their daily life?
You know, it's critical. Exercise is critical. And when I think about it, I think about how Paul writes in Ephesians 6:11 to put on the whole armor of God. And so I feel that for us to be our best is really what we're talking about today, with good nutrition and exercise and personal development. I believe that these are the three pillars of what I call 360 wellness. And is it putting on that whole armor of God so that we can do the work that God has created us for and do it well and as healthy as possible.
Okay. Okay. And also, was there a time in your life when you purposely started incorporating exercise on a regular basis?
Throughout my life, physical activity, exercise, sports has been very important. I think what has happened is, as life moves on, you get older, you have a lot more roles and responsibilities. When I would hit a very stressful season in life, either I would do nothing or I would do the other extreme, which includes really drastically cutting calories, overdoing the exercise. And there's a way you can just do, too much as a way to feel like I had some control in an otherwise out of control situation.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem with that is you don't get long lasting results.
Mm-hmm.
The yo-yo dieting, the yo-yo exercising, it doesn't last. And so I hit a crossroads in life in 2020. And I realized that I had to really go deep and create a program for myself, for me, not for anybody else, but for me. And then when my mother passed away last year, I realized that she lived her life to the fullest. And if she had lived past 89, she'd still be here trying to learn new things and do the best she could. And as well, I did not want the family history of hypertension and diabetes to become my history. And so I committed myself to do this for me and do it consistently. And then earlier this year, I decided I really wanted to take it even to another level. And so it's been a series of recommitment starting in 2020. And now the day is not right if I'm not doing my workout in the morning and looking at my nutrition.
Good. Good. So will you share with us what you actually do on a day-to-day
S-
basis?
Yes. So I'm a morning person. I think over time I've tried to change that up. Try to. It's just the way my body's built. My brain, my inner clock is built, is to get up early, and so I've tried to sleep late, or I've tried to stay up late, or try to do the workout after work. The reality is, it just doesn't work. It doesn't fit into my time clock. And the
Mhm.
reality is, for most of us, once we get going on our day
Right.
and wearing all the hats that we wear and trying to take care of everybody, we're not going to come back and exercise. We're too
Mhm.
tired.
Mhm.
We're emotionally tired.
Mhm.
So it doesn't get done. So I get up every morning. I get up early. Some mornings a little earlier than others, but I get up in the morning. I really try to shoot for about 30 minutes. I give myself 30 minutes each
Mhm.
day. So I try to keep my workouts around 30 minutes.
Mhm.
And sometimes, for different reasons, the morning gets away and I don't have 30 minutes, but I don't let that stop me. It may
Exactly.
be a 5-minute workout. It may
Mhm.
be a
Mhm.
15-minute workout, but I'm going to
Mhm.
do something,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
because otherwise I'm out of sorts and I feel guilty because I didn't do it.
Right.
Um, but that workout time, so that's what I do in the morning, and it's the combination. I've done um, workouts that include Pilates. I found, workouts that are weights. I work with weights or
Mhm.
stretching, the stationary bike or walking or treadmill. So I try to keep it variety, because
Yes.
variety is what keeps us motivated.
Yes. Yes. That's great. That's great. Because too, I like to, I lack motivation at times. And so what I did, I have a 7-minute app on my phone.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
if I just do that, I'm golden. I feel
Yes.
like I've done something.
Yes.
And,
Yes.
yeah. And so even that 7 minutes after I end up stretching and it goes longer than 7 minutes, go to 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And so it motivates me to do more. And it gets my heart pumping as well. And it's a basic exercise. It's just calisthenics, the stuff we
Hmm.
learned in school when
Hmm.
we had it in school. It's just, jumping jacks, lunges, sit-ups and even planks and,
Hmm.
all that,
Hmm.
all that.
Hmm.
And so it's really doable. It's really doable. We have no excuse. But I think that motivation piece is that when we're lacking, that's the piece we're lacking. So as a physician, you know how important it is to for us women to move our bodies. So can you share with us the many benefits of exercise?
Yes. Balance and flexibility are two very important
Hmm.
reasons, because many of us sit a lot,
Oh yes.
and especially with what we've been through with the pandemic, we've ended up doing a
Oh
lot of sitting,
yes.
and it's easy to get stiff and inflexible.
Hmm.
Joints feel in pain, balance problems. All
Yeah.
these can also lead to falls. And
Okay.
the more we stay active also helps our bone strength.
Mm.
Women in general, are at high risk for osteoporosis. Men are too, but women tend to
Hmm.
be at a higher risk.
Hmm.
And also, there's been over years this myth that women of color don't have to worry about osteoporosis, and we know that not to be true.
Hmm.
And so it's important for all women from all backgrounds to really try to stay active, because the weight that we put on our bones,
Hmm.
it's important, because then the bones have to react. So they
Mm.
need to be stronger. So when
Yeah.
you aren't moving, they don't have to carry the weight.
Mhm.
And so
Mhm.
they can get, even more weak, along with the other causes of osteoporosis. But
Mhm.
as you mentioned earlier, the feeling of wellness.
Mm.
Um, I know I love the way I feel when I can see myself getting stronger,
Mhm.
when I can see myself being active. And
Mhm.
I'm not gonna tell you I always look pretty getting up off the floor. But at least I'm able to get up off the floor,
Yes,
you know?
definitely, definitely.
So,
Okay.
mobility, and if we wanna be here and we want to be able to enjoy our families,
Yeah,
we wanna be able to show up for ourselves
yeah,
and show up for them the healthiest we can be.
right. And what about Dr. Phyllis, what about diabetes and high and
Thank you. You
heart
yes.
disease? Women, you know, it's a I don't know, well-known secret that women heart disease, women, heart attacks and we're high in that area.
No, that is so important, and I appreciate you,
Mhm,
reminding us all of that because I had that when I was thinking about what we talk about today, and that is so important. I
yeah,
kind of alluded to it earlier when I talked about diabetes. I have a family history of diabetes. My
mhm,
mom was an awesome patient. She,
mm,
um, but the thing of it is that there's also pre-diabetes,
right.
and we're trying to do that to let people know they're at risk so they
Mhm,
can start making some changes. But as you mentioned, diabetes causes so many complications,
mhm,
and while you can do all the right things and still develop it,
right.
yet I still feel we have control over how we navigate it.
Mhm,
And if you're pre-diabetic, you have a chance to arrest that. A
yes.
lot of it has to do with we've reached a point where our bodies aren't making enough insulin to balance the amount of weight we have, the fat
Mhm,
tissue
mhm,
and everything. And so exercise helps you. It helps lower your blood glucose because your body's using it, it's fueling your body. The other thing, too, is exercise helps to lower your cholesterol because there is the good cholesterol, which we call the HDL, and the
mhm,
one we tend to call the bad cholesterol, the LDL, where the LDL is the protein that will usually take the cholesterol from our tissues and bring it into the bloodstream, right?
mhm,
It
mhm.
makes the level higher. Where the HDL, which we again call the good cholesterol, is one that helps take cholesterol to our tissues. So we want that HDL to be high, and when you exercise, you actually, can increase your HDL levels so
Mhm.
that it'll take up that lingering cholesterol that's hanging around in your bloodstream and can also help lower it. So
Yeah,
exercise just has a lot of great things it can benefits
yeah,
for us.
yeah. Dr. Phillips, what about is it exercise advantageous for us women while we're getting older? Should we still be moving while we're getting older? What
Yes,
benefits that?
I do believe the saying, if you don't use it, you'll lose it.
Yeah.
And we have to. We need to do that. Um, I just it breaks my heart when I see women, where they're bent over, they're,
Yeah.
they are not active, and I think especially with what the Lord has brought us through with COVID-19,
Mhm.
that and not being able to be in touch with people,
Mm.
and
Yeah.
socialized and getting out
Yeah.
and doing things, it's even more important that we keep our bodies moving, we take care of ourselves, because actually while we can't control everything that's going to happen to us in life, you
Mhm.
sure can go through it. As I mentioned, putting on the armor, you
Mhm.
can your body can respond
Mhm.
better to medical conditions when you're in better health.
Right.
Your body can respond to surgeries where you
Mhm.
can recover better.
Mhm.
If we're getting ready, we're in the midst of flu season.
Mhm.
By having physical health, wellness, it can help you get through that
Yeah.
better than someone who's not, in a weakened condition.
Mhm.
And so it's important. Keep
Yeah.
moving it.
Yeah.
It may look different the way we move it as we're moving along, but keep moving it.
Yeah.
Whatever part can move, move it. you know?
Exactly. Exactly. Um, You alluded it to this earlier. When we are desperate as women, when we're desperate to lose weight, we tend to sign up for the most strenuous boot camp type, you know, exercise program. How do you recommend women should start exercising? Should they start out slowly and gradually increase their level of intensity, or can they just jump in and just,
I
go for it?
yes. I think that if you really want to get a sustainable program that will motivate you to get out of bed and
Mm,
not want to stay in bed and throw the sheets over your head and say you'll do it tomorrow,
right, right, right.
is finding the program that works for you.
Yeah.
You're so right that many of us will go and sign up for something and then you get frustrated. You
Yeah,
get
we pay
caught
a lot
up
of
with,
money for it.
yeah, yes, you pay a lot of money like it's going to be the cure all,
Yeah,
like if I just get in the room,
yeah.
I'm going to drop the weight, but you have to do the work. And so I think that there there are programs that are strenuous, but they have different levels. They should have modifications,
Mhm,
modifiers available for you to do. They should
right.
be modeling those modifications for you to follow.
Mhm,
And then also I really think it's important, Cynthia, that we choose wisely what we're
mhm,
going to do,
mhm,
because and that's one of the things that I do with my clients as a life coach
mhm.
is help people identify the best exercise program for them by
That's good.
looking at what motivates them
Mhm,
and really look, okay, what is it that you want to do?
mhm, mhm.
Is dance? Are you into dance?
Yeah,
And that's what you want to do? Well, let's
yeah,
try to find that.
yeah,
If you want to work with weight, and the thing with women, we have to realize this, there's a myth out there that if you pick up a weight, you're going to start looking like a bodybuilder.
right.
That's not true. It helps you with the strengthening.
Mhm,
And again, we talked about flexibility and balance
mhm.
so that we don't break anything, we don't fracture,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah,
Because that's just is life changing.
yeah.
But is identifying the right program for you and sitting down and thinking about what time of day is best for me. What are my physical limitations, my real
Mhm,
physical limitations that are there? Do I have knee problems? Do I have a hip problem? Do I have a low back problem? So what exercise would be safest for me to start with?
mhm,
And what type of environment is best for me? Do I need to be in person? Do I, can I do it at home? I do my exercises at home.
mhm,
And I, coach my clients on exercises home. It just
mhm.
fits my schedule.
Yeah.
But for other people, getting out of the home is important. So to answer the question, even more clearly, is that find what really is going to work
Mhm,
for you
mhm,
and that you're going to stick with and not going to injure you,
mhm.
and is not going to frustrate you. And I do agree with you. It's
Right.
always better to go slow,
Mhm, mhm.
slow
Definitely.
and sustainable.
Yeah, yeah. And that you kind of answered really the next question I wanted to ask about motivation, because that's the $1 million word is motivation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How do you stay motivated? This is the issue that as a weight
Mm-hmm.
loss coach myself, I find that women are saying that, Cynthia, I have all these other things to do. I have to, like you were saying earlier, I have
Uh-huh.
all these different hats, and I work full time. I have kids at home. I have a husband, and I have extracurricular things that I like to do,
Uh-huh.
and I have meetings, and when do I started this program of exercise, but I can't keep it up because the other things take precedent over just taking 30 minutes or 15 minutes to exercise. How do you counsel them to stay motivated?
I really start with, if you want to be here to do those things,
Mhm.
you have to take care of yourself.
Yes.
And I think, as we talked about earlier, time, I'm going to say something really maybe out there.
Okay.
I don't have time is a myth.
Mhm. Mhm.
It comes down to how we choose to use our time. And I and
Bingo.
I say that as someone who, like probably all of us right now who are
Mhm.
listening, we do wear a lot of hats,
Yeah.
and we have to show up for a lot of people.
Mhm.
And we love it. I mean, because it's important to us.
Mhm.
That's why I do mine in the morning.
Mhm.
Um, you have to carve out that time. And I help people look at time, find time.
Mhm.
That's one of the things too I coach on, is how to find that time,
Mhm.
because it's easy, like you said, to say I don't have time. I used to say that,
Mhm.
oh, I don't have time. But you can find,
Yeah.
actually, when you really look at how you spend your time, you can find it.
Mhm.
But just think about the option
Mhm.
to still wear all those hats and spin all those plates, but feel good while you're
Yeah.
doing it. And
Yeah.
I think we also, as women, have to think beyond. For
Mhm.
those of us that are, as you mentioned, working, got to get up, make sure the kids are up and going, got to make sure they get to school. You have to get to your job on time, you know, and things, fires that come up at work that you think you're going to leave work at a certain time so you can go run and get the kids. I tell people,
Right.
back in the day, my blood pressure would go up between 5 and 5:30 because I was driving on two wheels trying
Oh.
to get, trying to get out of where I was. I knew all
Yeah.
the back streets of how to
Yeah.
drive to get to the kids' school. But you, if you don't take care of yourself and find the time,
Mhm.
and I think too, as we talked about motivation, is life is not a given. Tomorrow's
Right.
not a given.
Yes.
And we need to be present.
Mhm.
We need to, we cannot have life living us. And I've been there. That's
Wow.
why I can say that.
Yeah.
Is I had a point where I felt like life was living me. I wasn't
Mm.
living my life.
Yeah.
I was like, I tease people, I was like the parent who would go to the competitions or whatever. I'd be so worried about videoing it that I
Yeah.
wasn't really in
Present. Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
present. And
Yeah.
so you want to live your life. God created you for
Mhm.
you. And
Mhm.
there is going to be life beyond your kids needing
Mhm.
you to be their Uber driver,
Right.
okay? And their Uber Eats and everything else.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, what do you want that to look like? And
Yeah.
some of those now are looking at that transition from maybe working to our next thing that we're
Mhm.
doing, or
Mhm.
retirement. Um, what do you want that to look like? How do you want your health? And as you dream your dreams, you want to be in the best health.
Yes.
It's so unfortunate
Yes.
to see people retire and then they get really sick and worse,
Right.
because they
Right.
didn't plan, they didn't take care of
Yeah.
themselves. I'm not talking about just financial, because
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can't use the money if you're not
Right.
healthy.
Exactly. Exactly.
So these are the things about living in the moment. Find the time. And I think when people start, and we especially, is when we start actually doing the exercise on a consistent basis,
Mhm.
when you start feeling better,
Yeah.
it changes your whole outlook
Mhm.
on life.
Mhm.
It allows you to put things in the right priority,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And you'll still be able to wear those hats, but have a sense of peace and feel good.
Yeah.
And you won't feel like there's no room for you.
Mhm.
Like there's nothing being done for you, because you're going to do it, and you're going to do it before the day starts. So you can see I'm supporting the morning workout.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
you're going to do it before the day starts. So you've already done you. You've done
Yeah.
you. Now
Yeah.
you're ready to do everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. That's good. That's good. Um, so eating healthy goes along with moving our bodies, right? So let's talk about what we should be eating and the type of foods we should be eating. Let's see. So, Dr. Phyllis, I believe that many of us know what to eat,
Mhm.
but knowing does not translate into action, right? So, we know what we should be eating. I mean, you can look online and find out if you hadn't got that nutrition in school. So there are four food groups, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
There's
Mhm.
protein, which includes meat, dairy, beans. If you're a vegetarian, beans,
Mhm.
seeds, nuts, tofu. You have so that's protein. Okay, then you
Mhm.
have vegetables. So you have raw vegetables. I encourage people to eat raw vegetables and
Yes.
cooked vegetables. Especially raw vegetables because you get the nutrients right from that the vegetable without it being cooked out.
Mhm.
You get
Mhm.
that roughage that helps you be regular. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
so you got
That's
vegetables,
important.
and yeah, and then you got fruit, and you got apples, you got strawberries, blueberries, bananas, pears, and much more. And then we have our grain. We have our oatmeal grits, brown rice, and whole grain cereals. And so we know what to eat. And so, but yet knowing does not translate into
Mhm.
doing. Right.
Mhm.
So um, but let's talk about the foods that gets us in trouble. Like we all know, right?
Yes. Yes.
The chips, the crackers, the fried foods, the donuts, the candy, the French fries, the whatever, that really tickles and satisfies our palate. The highly processed foods. Yeah, those are the types of foods that gets us in trouble. That increase our girth and
Mhm.
our weight. And so encourage my clients that if you cannot eat those things in moderation, and by moderation, I mean if you can just have two cookies, that's fine.
Mhm.
But if
Mhm.
you eat two cookies and your cravings ramp up and you cannot control it, uh, no, avoid those types of foods because you'll get in trouble.
That's right.
You'll end up eating the whole package. So if you can eat those things in moderation, God bless you. But if you can't, just take it out. Take it out.
Mhm.
Just take it out. Uh, so as a weight loss coach, I just encourage people to eat less. With the processed food, you have more fat, more sugar, more salt, and that affects disease in your body as well,
Mhm.
and inflammation. The more sugar you eat, the more inflammation you have in your joints, and so all that stuff you don't need in your food plan. And I don't like to say diet because the connotation is you're restricted. But if you want to live a healthy lifestyle, you have to choose to eat healthy. You have to choose the foods that will benefit
Mhm.
your body. And not just, uh, do it on the fly because you got to
Right.
prepare,
Mhm.
and I season my vegetables. I don't eat bland food. And,
Mhm.
people will say, oh, Cynthia, you keep your weight down and blah, 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 whatever. And but, I'm not on a diet. I live a healthy lifestyle and I eat healthy. And so when you mention vegetables to people, they're like, oh, vegetable, I got to eat a vegetable. Well, honey, you're not cooking your vegetables right. You
That's
have to make
right.
it like that. And so you season it to taste. I love Cajun seasonings,
Mhm.
and I roast my broccoli, I roast my cauliflower, and I love to air fry them as well. I stir fry my string beans, I roast my eggplant, and I stir fry my okra, and I have squash and butternut squash. There are a plethora of vegetables out there that a lot of women probably haven't even scratched the surface of. You know,
Mhm. Mhm.
um, I remember being introduced to what is that? It was like a carrot, but it's a white carrot. It's called something else.
Not rutabaga.
No, maybe that's it. But anyway,
Mhm.
um, I would cut it up and then put a little seasoned salt on it and a little pepper and roast it. And it's delicious. Put olive oil on it,
Mhm.
delicious. So, don't knock until you try it because,
That's
and
right.
also greens, you
I was
know,
gonna say.
collard greens,
Mhm.
mustard
Mhm.
greens, throw them greens in there. They have a lot of vitamins in there, kale. So, we have no excuse for not eating healthy because we have
Mhm.
a lot of variety that God has given us, already that has vitamins in it and that's good for our bodies and that we can season to our taste that it won't be bland, because if it's bland, you're not going to eat it.
That's right. That's right.
Right? So, yeah. So, and I want to give this tip as well. When I go to restaurants, before I go out, I'll go online and on the restaurant that I'm about to go out to, like my husband and I go out to a restaurant or we go to with a friend and I would look online on my phone or computer or whatever and pull up the menu, look at what they have to offer and then choose what I'm going to order.
Mhm.
So by the time I get to the darken the door of the restaurant, go in and sit down, I know what I'm going to have.
Right.
So that lessens all the temptations that you're looking at all the stuff that they got on there. They got the pictures of the succulent this and that, and then you look in the back or in the middle where they have all the desserts and the big old
Mhm.
and whatever and the ice cream and the whatever. And it's like, okay, that's a lot. That's a lot of temptation. So the tip is, do it ahead of time. Prepare to have success. And so that's part of living a healthy lifestyle is to prepare.
Mhm.
Prepare beforehand. And then when you go, you have no issues. You have decided, you have made the choice that you what you're going to eat, and then you stick to it, you know. And so in that dreaded bread that they the
That, oh yeah.
bread
I've
and the
had to
butter.
I've had to just say
I
no.
know, I know, I know, I know. And, my husband too, he's on a healthy kick as well, and, he to honor me, he automatically tells the waiter, "No, we don't want that." So when they bring it to the table, we say, "Oh, no, thank you," and they take it away. And sometimes he'll accept it and eat it himself,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
and that doesn't bother me.
Right,
But
right.
he protects me sometimes,
Yeah.
He said, just take it
That's
away."
my weakness. I admit it. That I love some hard rolls.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, yeah. So, this is the things we have to do to live a healthy lifestyle. So, we're getting near the end of our discussion. So if anyone has a comment or question on the topic, just put it in the chat. And so far, Dr. Phyllis, we've had comments. These are the comments I'm seeing. Self care is very important. Say yes to ourselves without guilt and
Yes.
condemnation. And someone else says that blood sugar roller coaster is not good for a productive day. Another person said we need more recipes of how to cook and how to shop for those healthy items.
Mhm.
And I do have that on my website. So drop me a line and I'll send you that video. Then someone else says, yes, white carrots and purple carrots are very tasty.
I
Yes.
love them.
And another person says, what if you're not surrounded by supportive people? How do you still move forward? That's a great question.
And I think Cynthia and I both could answer that in our coaching. Um, and accountability and support can look different ways. It could be having one-on-one coaching. Like
Hmm.
Cynthia and I both also do that as well. It could be part of a group
Hmm.
with coaching, and we do that as well to help
Hmm.
people meet their goals and their transformation.
Yes.
And so, one-on-one coaching to help you develop that self. Because at the end of the day, regardless is, and I think Cynthia and I've talked in the past about having buddies or not having buddies for workouts, is it's a good thing to have a buddy if that works for you,
Hmm.
and that's okay. But at the end of the day, you have to have accountability for yourself.
Yes.
Because if that buddy doesn't show up that day, you don't want to not do your workout because they didn't show up.
Right.
So this question, number one, thank you for asking the question. It's a that step, the first step to the next step
Hmm.
is, you know, is finding that support that could be from one-on-one, that could be from having being a part of a group. And I think one of the things we've learned through the pandemic is that we've actually appreciate the use of virtual. So there's
Hmm.
a lot of virtual supports out there for you that doesn't have to be, so you don't have to necessarily drive somewhere to get it,
Right.
that you can have the virtual support to at least, if anything, to get you going. Because
Hmm.
I believe that once you make something a habit,
Yes.
so that you get to the point where you feel guilty if you don't do it, that's really a good transition that you're going to be successful. And that's
Right.
what coaches do, is to help you get to that point so that you can do it yourself.
Right. Right. Um, so yeah, that any other questions, just put it in the chat and we'll go over that. Uh, yeah, it takes, like you said, it takes consistency and accountability. Yeah,
Mhm.
accountability. If you're not accountable to anyone, um, yeah, you'll start making excuses. Definitely, definitely. And I think group accountability is great. So,
Mhm.
and that's one of the reasons why I created the weight loss motivation for women of faith, because I need group motivation as well. I'm not in like a lone ranger out.
Mhm.
And so, but we feed off each other and we support each other, and then we encourage each other. And so that, so when you go on Facebook and look up um, Facebook page, you will see motivational, things and scripture as well. To because I think is to me, Dr. Phyllis is threefold: is mental, physical, and
Mhm.
spiritual.
Yes.
And so when you have those three supporting each other, then you can move forward. You can move
Mhm.
forward, and that's what I'm trying to put on the page each day is something um, that can help you move forward in your spiritual life. To mature, to move forward, to grow.
Mhm.
And through struggles, we grow. If we don't have any struggles, how are
Amen.
we gonna grow?
Amen.
you
Amen.
know, and I know we hate
Yes.
struggling. I don't like to
Yeah.
struggle, but it's there, and when we struggle, when I struggle, I turn to God. And
Amen. Yes.
and I turn to others who can pray for me. I turn
Mhm.
to others
Mhm.
who can support me, undergird me, who can encourage me. And so that's the spiritual aspect, and the physical aspect is to move your body.
Yes.
We have no excuse, as we talked earlier, we have no excuse these days. We can do it online. We can, pop in a video. We can go, to the gym if you want to. There's many ways we can do it. I have an app, 7-minute app,
Yes.
on our phone, and you can even do it at work. I mean,
Mhm.
we sit down all day, and so my husband always encourages me to take a break. So when I take a break, I go up the 8 flights of stairs, and I'm like, okay, phew, got up here. Then I come back and I run back down, and then I usually do it 2 times. But
Mhm.
when I do it once, I'll go outside and walk around the campus and and then all that. Um, I am so when I do it, I feel so good after that, and I love feeling the toneness
Mhm.
of my muscles,
Yes.
and so uh, you know, I even went so far as yesterday. I did the flights of stairs yesterday on break. Then I went to the bathroom. I said, "Oh, I need to do my arms." And so, do you know I did a plank on the bathroom floor? But I had paper towels.
Right.
Okay, had my hair back.
Yeah.
Nobody else is in here, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna just do a plank. And so, and I was in a big stall, so
Yeah.
I did a plank. Do you know somebody walked in? I was like, "Oh, man." I was doing a minute plank, and I was like 20, 21. It's like, yeah, my parents like, oh my goodness, let me get up.
Well, next time you can do it on the wall.
Yes,
We're gonna talk
yes,
about those planks on the wall. You can do
yes,
up against the wall.
yes. I do that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've
yeah,
done that too.
yeah,
After that, I do
yeah.
down a certain flight of stairs, and I do that too. So,
You
but
win the award though, Cynthia. You win.
I was like, get it anywhere you can.
Yeah.
So, let's see. Someone else says, I lost most weight when I had an accountability partner.
Mhm.
I try
Mhm.
to always remember my why beneath my why to keep myself motivated. It's not easy, but can be done. I appreciate this talk and look forward to being a part of this group. So thank you for that comment. And it is not easy
Yeah.
every day. Sometimes it's a breeze because you go like clockwork, and other times it's like, let me do this.
Yeah.
Let me
That
get up here.
snooze button. For me, that
Yeah,
snooze button, and I have to say, no, let's go.
yeah,
But
exactly,
great
exactly.
comments, and I just thank everyone for their wonderful questions and
Yeah.
comments. They've been really great.
Yeah, yeah, thank you. And so, yeah, it's exciting to be able to discuss this and encourage each other. And so, just to wrap it up, thank you, Dr. Phyllis, for
Oh,
discussing
thank
this
you.
important topic. And it's all about it's self care. We're taking care of our bodies with
Hmm.
exercise, eating healthy, and exercising our body, eating healthy meals makes a difference, and it makes a difference in our health. And so I just thank you for joining me in this discussion, and that it has been a help to our listeners. And just thank you for being here. I
Thank
appreciate
you. This is wonderful. This is wonderful. I've enjoyed it. Thank you, Cynthia, for the
it.
invitation.
Thank you, and have a great day.
You too. Everyone be blessed. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.